My name is Pratik Chougule. I'm the executive director of the Coalition for Political Forecasting. So we advocate for more liberalization of regulations on betting on elections and politics. And we do so because we believe that by allowing betting on elections and politics, we can ultimately help society to better understand what will happen in the future with politics. Right now, we're seeing that polling and other ways that people tend to do forecasting is very hit or miss. It's not entirely reliable. So we believe that when you are looking at people who are betting, people who really have their own money on the line, what do they believe will happen in elections and politics? We believe that there is real value to that for society. The Polymarket is a crypto-based site where you can go on the website and you can bet real money on elections, politics, sports, all kinds of things. So the most popular markets there are on the 2024 election. And a lot of people now are looking at Polymarket, even if they don't want to actually bet their own money on the outcome, they view it as a good barometer and a good indicator of what might happen. Yeah, so I'm here at the East Greenwich Republican committee meeting, and they had asked me to come and talk about polling. And I think that among people who follow politics, there's a lot of questions and confusion about what's going on with the polling. Why is it so tight? And we've obviously seen in previous elections the polling miss in important ways, in some ways underestimating Donald Trump's support, but also just that there's a lot of clarity or lack of clarity and a lot of questions about whether or not we can rely on polling. So I will be talking about what polling is, how to interpret it, and maybe how to also look at betting markets and other newer technologies to try to gain a better understanding of what will happen. You can really, in theory, bet on anything. You can bet on whether or not a bill will pass. Some of my favorite markets are during a presidential debate, or if Trump or Kamala are going to give a speech, you can bet on which words they will say in the debates or in the talk. You can bet on approval ratings. You can bet on all kinds of things. And overall, when you look at these markets, there are hundreds of these markets out there. They really give you new insights into politics that I think are not really available anywhere else. That's one of the things that I like about it. Is that, I mean, there are different regulations, but like on Polymarket, for example, you can go on the site. You can really start with $5 or $10, but there are people who, of course, bet millions and millions of dollars also. So I think the vision and the goal here is for ordinary people to just place a bet and have a way of putting their own money where their mouth is, where they believe the election is headed. And the more people that participate in these markets, the more it'll be a barometer and a price signal of what a lot of different people out there believe will happen. Not too many people know this, but betting markets used to be really big in the late 19th, early 20th century. There used to be millions and millions of dollars bet on elections, and the prices used to be quoted in the newspapers. The political betting kind of fell out of fashion in the 20th century for a while with the rise of polling as well as regulations. Today they are very heavily regulated, but there are new companies now finding ways to work within existing regulations, to challenge regulations, and also use technology like crypto to work around a lot of these regulations. So we're really seeing a renaissance and resurgence of political betting, but it is in many ways, like you mentioned, an older technology too. Countries have different regulations on political betting. The UK actually has very open, free political betting, but in other countries like the Middle East and elsewhere, it's very restricted. In America, there is some freedom on political betting. The complexity is that betting and gambling regulation, it is done in many different areas. A lot of it is at the state level. A lot of it is at the CFTC, an independent agency. Congress has passed different laws that pertain to political betting. So it's a very complicated legal environment, and we're trying to break down some of the regulations and open the door to this technology. Well, I'm really delighted to see that people are taking an interest in political betting. Our goal really is, while we want to make it easier for people to bet, we're ultimately doing so because my hope and my vision with political betting is that for every one person who is placing a bet in these markets, there will be many, many more people who go on Polymarket, go on Kalshi or Predicted, just to check what the odds are. And just like people are accustomed now to viewing election polling as a way of understanding what will happen in politics, my hope is that political betting markets and political betting odds will be part of the conversation in the same way. Right now, I can tell you that the polling is looking about 50-50, but the betting markets have Donald Trump ahead. I think I checked earlier today, Trump is trading at 58% compared to Kamala at 42%. So whether or not that's because there's a right-wing bias in the markets, or maybe the markets just know something that the pollsters are not picking up, that we will have to find out on election day.